Okay, this is 27 Super Famicom games. This is the collection of games that I have accumulated since the last Super Famicom video I did. It's a lot of games, and I admit. And actually, whack, I'll just get started. This is The Great Battle 3. This is just cart only. A friend of mine gave this to me. It's really fun. It is Kamen Rider, Gundam, and Ultraman, and it's kind of like a Golden Axe clone. It's really unforgiving, brutally hard, but it's also really fun too. If you don't mind using the continues a lot, it's pretty fun to play through. Accelebrid. It's kind of an interesting game. It's like a 3D perspective shooter on rails, kind of like at least the first level you're flying through this tube, and it's kind of like Space Harrier a little bit, but you are in a robot that can transform into an airplane that you can shoot and attack. It's kind of hard. I'm not really sure if I like it or not. It's maybe not the best designed game, but I'll give it a shot. Battlecross. I've already done a review for this game on my Super Famicom site, and super fun. This is kind of like if you ever played Super Sprint, or actually a little bit more closer is the Atari follow-up in the late 80s. It was called Badlands, where you can actually shoot at each other and slow each other down. Kind of had that Road Warrior appeal to it. But anyhow, you're in this game you're like on these little futuristic hover bikes, and you just shoot at each other. It's super fun. 2D gameplay. You just go around on the tracks. It's really cute. Super Pinball 2, really awesome pinball game. This was included in the 100 Super Famicom games in 10 minutes video, part 2. Nankoku Shounan Papuwa-kun. This is apparently based off a manga I've never heard of before. The art looks somewhat similar to Dragon Ball, the first Dragon Ball series, I think. It's a pretty cute platformer game, and you can see videos of this elsewhere on YouTube. Treasure Hunter G. Holy crap, don't let the Squaresoft thing mislead you. This is actually made by Sting, the same people who made the wonderful Riviera on the GBA, and they also were responsible for Yggdrasil Union and the Knights in the Nightmare on the DS. Really neat turn-based strategy game, slash strategy RPG. Pretty cool. Lady Stalker. I got this for like super cheap. Got this in Japan. Yeah, the first 4 here, I bought those off eBay, starting with Treasure Hunter G. I got this on my last trip to Japan. So this is the Japanese Super Famicom game haul that I had promised in a prior video. Anyhow, this is an isometric adventure game. It's kind of cute. I haven't played it very much, but you could see I learned about this from the first 100 Super Famicom games in 10 minutes. Torneko no Daibouken. This is a character from the Dragon Quest series, and this is a really cool dungeon crawler game. Apparently, I'm told that this was re-released on the PlayStation, which got a US translation. Great Strategy Expert World War II. This game, you're actually playing the Nazis, and you are fighting against the Soviets. It's pretty cool. It's extremely in-depth. It takes very long time, and you're on this huge map. And look at the size of the ROM on this card here. Look at that. Got a lot of extra stuff on this cartridge. This is a pretty big game. I mean, when you wait your turn for the opponent, it takes a very long time. This is way, way, way more involving than playing a Super Robot Tyson game, that's for sure. Leen, which is how you would pronounce GD Leen, apparently. This is an RPG, pretty old RPG on the Super Famicom. It's a science fiction based game, kind of somewhat reminiscent, I suppose, of Dragon Quest, I suppose. Alcahest. This is another Squaresoft game. This is a pretty cool, it's kind of, you know, like an action RPG, I suppose, somewhat similar to, you think about, you know, Legend of Zelda, I suppose. This is pretty neat. Panel de Pon. This was released in English called Tetris Attack, and they inserted a whole bunch of Nintendo Mario Brothers characters. Whatever. This game has nothing to do with Tetris, but it's plenty fun. Dragon Knight 4, oh my. This was a hentai game for the PC that was cleaned up for the Super Famicom, and it's actually supposedly a pretty decent SRPG. And I think Dragon Knight 3 was released on the computer in English called Knights of Zentar or something like that. And so that's how you might be familiar with the Dragon Knight series. Gundam Cross Dimension 0079. This is isometric view. Actually, it's not isometric. I haven't played it yet, but this is another strategy game, and it's based off of the first TV series of Gundam, and that's pretty cool. There's Char, there's Amuro, neat stuff. Earthlight, oh yay, this is really cool. Anime TIC Space War Game. I don't know what TIC stands for. I don't know. Tactical something or other. This is a super neat. It's Hudson Soft. It is another strategy game. I like strategy games, as you can tell. And speaking of strategy games, this is Power of the Hired. Ooh, Masaya. I'm actually putting together a Masaya fan page because some of their games are turds, but they've consistently made a lot of good memories for me, and I really like the company, and it's too bad that they're gone. Masaya, they're most famous for the Langrister series. So this is typical Masaya style strategy game from, you know, the early 90s. All their styles are more or less very, very, very similar in gameplay and such. Battle Tycoon. I learned about this from the first Super Famicom games in 10 minutes, 100 games in 10 minutes. This is a fighting game, but with some RPG elements. You actually accumulate experience points and fight and, you know, gain attributes and stuff. It's pretty interesting. I've played this a little bit, and it's pretty cool. Again, don't think I spent like a fortune on all these. I mean, I went to Japan, and even despite the crappy exchange rate, I got so many of these things for super cheap. I mean, like, I got this for like maybe 200 yen, 300 yen. Excellent deal. Super Robot Taisen EX. Super Robot Taisen needs no explanation, I don't think. And I already had the number 4 for the Super Famicom, so I picked up EX and number 3 for super cheap. So look, there's the Dumbine in the background. That's cool. You don't see Dumbine in the later games, as far as I know. I don't buy a whole ton of them, but, you know, so I can't claim I'm a total expert on Super Robot Tyson. But anyhow, the Firemen. This got released in English in the UK, and apparently it's super rare. But in Japan, it's not too difficult to come by. I had to go through several shops in Akihabara before I found this. And this is super fun. If you've never played Firemen, check out. I'm sure somebody like Vice the Determined has a video of this game. It's firefighting, and you know, if you can imagine, like an Alien Syndrome type of shooter game where you go around and explore buildings and shoot stuff. In this case, fire, or you know, you might think it might be boring if it's just fire, but actually, that does get more and more interesting as you play the game. Super fun. Highly recommended it. I'm going to be doing a review of this on my site pretty soon. Flying Hero. This is shmup. Cute 'em up shmup. You actually, when you shoot, you can actually, with your trigger fingers, you can change the direction of your shots. It's pretty cute. I got this for way cheaper than I thought I was going to. Maybe 800 yen or so. So, I got this at Doppo. I got a lot of these for super cheap at Doppo. Super Aleste. This is known as Space Megaforce. And this actually, they edited the content and they changed things. They removed the anime style graphics. And this is typical in the early 90s, at least on the Super Nintendo. I guess the Sega was not quite as embarrassed about putting anime-style graphics on Genesis games, but for some reason the Super Nintendo was trying to appeal to the normal tards or something. I don't know. Makeruna, Makendo. This is, and it comes with a little image CD. Where's the CD? Here it is. This is pretty cool. See, got a little tiny soundtrack CD. Makeruna Makendo was released domestically as Kendo Rage, and I own the American version. English version. They kind of changed the storyline to it a bit. I played this a little bit in Japanese, and they changed the storyline, but it's more or less, you know, remained faithful, I guess. Yeah, Kendo Rage, you probably already know about it. You may or may not know about the sequel, Makeruna Makendo 2, which involves the girl's little sister, and this is more of just a Street Fighter beat-em-up type of game. Now, this is recent acquisitions from Hit Japan. The top four up there, those are, you know, the Accelebrid, Battlecross, Super Pinball 2, Papuwa-kun. I got those from Hit Japan. Bounty Sword, Pioneer made this game. This is another strategy RPG game, and it's pretty neat. I saw a video, I think Vice the Determined made a video of this, and I was pretty much sold on it. It looks pretty cool. Zigzag Cat, weird stuff. This is like an Arkanoid. Imagine Arkanoid with like RPG adventure elements to it. Very weird. Look at these three goofballs. I asked my wife if she can recognize these guys. I guess there's some comedians from Japan. She doesn't know who they are, so whatever. Anyhow, yeah, it's weird. It's like Arkanoid where you know, break bricks and then you get to a town and you walk around and talk to people. It's kind of weird. Sotsugyou Bangaien. This is a mahjong game featuring the characters from Sotsugyou, which is Graduation. I believe Graduation was a Gainax game. I may be mistaken. And anyhow, this is different than... I actually have a couple other mahjong games. This one is actually 4 players at a time mahjong. You can actually play against 3 other of the computer-controlled characters. So, it's pretty neat. So, 27 games and all. Neat stuff, huh? Bye.